this, there you go. This meeting will appear on the website later. If there's a few people that weren't here the first time, for the first meeting, that is recorded as well. And that's on our website, peppercorn.biz. You can just go in there and watch it. I recommend you do watch that if you don't know that much about AI, because we went through some really cool stuff then as well about creating creating emails and blog posts and things and responses. So I recommend you go there. So just go to peppercorn.biz. Right. The purpose of these sessions is just to demystify AI and making it accessible and understandable, sort of regardless of your prior knowledge. We'll be exploring what AI is and what it's used for, and some really cool stuff that we've all found in the last week. So sort of anybody can there. Steffi is a key player here because she's got a that does the PCM, which is a contact sort of management system, but there's got an Your AI, isn't it? It's called as well, with lots of lots of cool AI tools in there that will help your business as well. So, and it's free to check it out. So, and Steph is doing a little segment today on chatbots, because chatbots are used to be really complex, and now with the advent of AI, they're much simpler to implement and create. Okay, at its core, artificial intelligence is about creating machines that can perform the tasks that typically require human intelligence, and it understands natural language, recognizing images, making decisions, and learning from experience. There's the main AI that I use is ChatGPT, but we will also be talking about Bard later today, and there's also another one called Claude. Then there are lots and lots and lots of other suppliers who use one of those engines. You know, that they've got their own interface. With ChatGPT, just go to OpenAI and set up an account. With Bard, you just go to bard.google.com and set up an account, and you can start for free. I mean, I don't think Bard have even got a charging mechanism in place at the moment, but with ChatGPT, all the cool stuff is on something called ChatGPT 4, and you do have to pay for that, but you can get access to it through Microsoft Edge and Bing, but we'll come to that later. Okay. First, I wanted to just talk about, because I've had people who say to me that they keep getting rubbish responses from ChatGPT. I just wanted to go through some of the prompting, and the stuff you key into ChatGPT determines what you get back out. And there are some practices that you need to do. So I'm just going to share my screen to go to ChatGPT.
Sorry I'm late.
No worries. Okay. I had trouble with this yesterday. Okay, hopefully you can see that screen now. This is my ChatGPT screen. When you go to chatopenai.com, this is just the starting screen, and you key your prompts in the bottom here. Now, the first thing you need to be is specific. So if you say something like, explain quantum physics. Actually, one of my other tips was to make sure you spell things correctly. Explain quantum physics. You are going to get a lot of technical information, you know, wave particle duality, classical magnetic, you know, this is, I don't know if anybody else understands that, but I'm going to stop it because it'll go on for a while. Now, if you say, if you're more specific, I am helping my son with his homework. My young son with his homework. can you explain quantum physics in a simple way in one paragraph? Okay, and that way, and now it's come out with something that I understand, you know. So this is it's a little bit longer than what I create later, but it'll give you something that's fit for what it is you wanted. So being specific is really important, and stating your intent as well. So this is what we're doing here. You're helping your young son. So using correct spelling and grammar is also important, and setting the context as well. So if you said I'm a beginner cook. You know, if you just keyed in, give me the recipe for lasagna, it will just give you the recipe for lasagna. Let's say a beginner cook. I want to cook a lasagna. Please give me the steps. So now I've told it I'm a beginner cook, so I don't want anything too complicated. You want to cook a lasagna, please give me the steps. So it's so the more specific you can be, the better answer it's going to give you. So if you give it a more generic, instruction, then you're going to get a load of stuff. So it's so the formula is the context, specific information, the intent, what you want to do with that information, and you can also, if you've got something that you're not sure of and it's giving you information, I know this we know that sometimes it may give you information that isn't correct. You can always feed the information it's giving you back in, and say, can you fact check this information for me? So that's another good way of double checking what it's already told you. So so I'm going to stop that there. So it is all about your prompts, and learning to prompt is important, and not buying prompts from you'll see on Facebook people trying to sell you prompts and sell you courses, and the trouble with those is that they've been made 6 months ago, a year ago, and ChatGPT, for instance, and Bard changed yesterday. Everything is changing so fast that none of that information is going to be relevant. So you're better off learning how to prompt rather than buying prompts, because
You need to be prompt with your prompts.
you do. And I've seen lists of prompts that people have paid for, and they are rubbish. You know, you think, well, someone's gone into ChatGPT and said, give me a list of prompts, and then they've put it in a document and sold it on Facebook for sometimes for 99 cents, sometimes for $150, you know. So it's kind of a you have to be wary of those sort of things. So that's it. It's all in prompts. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Can you put in too much information, like putting, I'm looking for, I help my young son, 8 years old, who's at such and such with his homework, and you think, well, and it then confuses itself because it gives you more elaborate information, which is irrelevant, but it's because of your sort of chatty way, or my chatty way of putting the question, rather than just saying, "Can you help me?"
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
It does, but you do have to be. The point of that is telling it that I want it simple, because it's a young son homework. Is telling it that these things, it can't be. It's not a university graduate in quantum physics who wants help with that. So it's kind of not that a university graduate should be asking that question. but that's it. So it is all about the prompts. But again, we did cover prompts in the first one as well. So if you want to watch, but actually you were there, Simon, anyway. But I mean, we did cover prompts, but prompting is really important. And anything you find out about prompts, it's bring it here. You know, I mean, we can. It's not just about me and or Steffi. It's about all of us having experience of things, and we find stuff out by using it. So we're going to there. Anyway, that was quite a longer introduction than I intended, but can we just go around the room and we just introduce ourselves, because this is a network meeting as well. So we just introduce ourselves quickly and just give us a line about how you think or how you envisage using ChatGPT or AI, I should say, in your business to be more productive. So I'm just going to go around the screen as it's here. So Steffi, if you want to kick off.
Oh, well, I'm using AI every single day. In fact, your AI is my AI playground because I use it so much in other parts of my business. I built a system to do it for me. And then I thought, oh, I might as well make it public and everyone can use it. So that's what your AI is all about.
Okay, brilliant. Maribel, are you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I had to go off because I'm just kind of multitasking as usual with a bit of job. What was the question? Sorry.
Just introduce yourself and what you do and how you envisage using AI in your business.
All right, sorry guys, I'm going to put the camera on as well, otherwise it's a bit rude like this. So I'm a foot biomechanics specialist with focus on full body health with non-invasive natural ways of treating the body and the feet. My focus currently, I have to still admit, I do hate social media. I'm over these and I feel like a blimming dinosaur because looking at all of these posts, I don't know. And it was a funny thing, by the way. I put up a couple of posts on TikTok. And it seems that when I'm talking about foot health and let's say just explaining a simple thing like arches, you know, what shape of an arch you have, because a lot of the people don't know how to check the arches by themselves. And there was a lot of confusion in it. So I did one of those videos and put it up on TikTok and I got over 800 views. And then yesterday I kind of noticed it was really funny, kind of a sketch. There was like different status of your, let's say, single, dating with kids. And then there was like down to Crocs. And then there was like divorced and there was massive high heels. And it was like a funny picture. So I set it up on this morning on TikTok and I got over 5,000 views. So in a way, I don't know what to think. I don't know if it's the funny bit of it or if it's the mentality of people that when you actually talk about something that kind of serves them, that's not so interesting as some funny stuff out there.
But how would you use AI in your business?
In my business, well, definitely I'm interested in learning how to integrate this chatbot onto the website because it can answer a lot of questions for me. So let's say I don't, you know, I can avoid too many calls for, let's say, very simple questions. That's my main aim.
All right, thanks, Manuel. Because yeah, I mean, I've been on TikTok as well, you know. But and I said yesterday at the peppercorn that I was down with the kids now. I'm on TikTok. But apparently, I was told that if you say the phrase "down with the kids," you're definitely not down with the kids. So, Adrian, welcome. Adrian, are you there? Can you hear us? Adrian. Adrian, can you hear us? Okay. Shirley, tell us about you.
Morning, everyone. I'm Shirley. I work in health and wellness. So I help people to look good and feel good. So if you wake up in the morning and feel like, oh, I'm not energized enough, have a chat with me. I can show you how. Well, my plan to use AI is to increase my visibility on social media, but I don't necessarily want to be in front of the camera, so I have to find a nice way of doing it.
Okay, brilliant. Okay. Adrian's disappeared, so I guess he had a technical issue there. So, Peter, tell us about you and how you envisage using AI, or if you already do.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Peter Smith from United Kingdom Business Advisors, and I work with business owners to help them to enjoy their businesses more. And I'll give you more detail when we've got more time. But for now, use of AI I had a requirement to give or be involved in a workshop which involved gamification for improving customer service. And I thought, how do I do that? And I used ChatGPT to walk me through it. I said, how do I do it? It told me how to do it. It also gave me typical questions, typical answers, which were quite reasonable, really. I had to adjust them a little bit, but I found that, in fact, the principles of what they were saying were good. And it saved me a heck of a lot of time trying to fathom out what to do, frankly.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Peter. Mel, tell us about you.
Hi, I'm Merle. I'm a virtual assistant. I help free up time so that business owners can focus on their businesses. I've been using AI for quite a while. I use ChatGPT. I use it for content creation on social media, but I actually use it for virtually everything all day long. If I can't think of an adjective, for instance, or if I don't want to use a cliche, let's say, I'll ask it for an alternative. I'll use it for birthday greetings, for instance. I tend to use the same ones all the time. So I use it for alternative birthday greetings. I'll put any and everything into it and see what comes out. And the other day I thought, right, I think I need some ideas for blogs. So I I fed in what I wanted on the Y and the X axis, and it came up with a table of 10 ideas. Excellent. And it was in table format. I was so surprised. So I'm learning more and more and finding it very, very useful.
Yeah, definitely. Good. Simon.
Sorry, struggling to get the unmute thing. Yeah, I'm Simon Merritt. I've been interested in AI for a long, long time. One of the reasons I wasn't here last time was because I actually went to an AI lecture. I'm just interested in it and how I haven't decided on how I can apply it, except for perhaps generating suggestions for blogs, really.
Okay, brilliant. Jane?
Oh, I am unmuted. I work for a company called Invicta Linux. We provide IT systems for small and medium-sized businesses, specializing in Linux and open source. And do you know, I don't think there's anything we can think of that isn't going to transform. I mean, it's so exciting. This whole world of AI I find wildly exciting. So at the moment, I'm using it for I don't know, yeah, helping with blogs, and as Steffi said, taking the in conclusion and deep dive into out, because you have to be, and the Z's obviously. So that's been a revelation. Food, history, you know, social media, bar. I don't use GPT because we're not really a Microsoft house. So, but I do use Bard, which has been renamed Gemini. And I don't know what that's packing with it now, but I think, I've just come from a networking meeting and they were talking about this big scam that's happened somewhere where an employee got sucked in to a meeting and basically lost, I think it was millions of pounds, because the other people, it was a virtual meeting, and all the other people in the room were deep fakes. Okay. Apart from this employee. So I'm going to have to look up on that, but you know, it comes with its own dangers and challenges, perhaps, but you know, it's evolution as far as I'm concerned. It's brilliant.
Yeah, for sure. Because I use Bard, you know, I do use Bard a little bit and as well, and then I went into Bard yesterday and it took me to Gemini. Apparently they're going to run in parallel at least for a while, because you've got Bard is focused on conversation and the arts and things, and Gemini is more technical apparently. So, but if you've been put onto the Gemini, because only a small number of people have been put onto Gemini, which includes you and me, obviously, but you then can't access, if you try to get into Bard, it just automatically shunts you across to Gemini.
Oh.
So it's I don't know what's going on. So, but
Well, I
it
hope
seems to have similar responses. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay. I'll have to try it with my recipe
So We'll
challenges.
have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens in the next few days, you know. So, so Adrian, are you able to unmute?
Yes, hi
Okay,
there,
brilliant.
Adrian Tray is the name. My company is Civil Wills, I write wills and trusts and do fancy tax planning. So I've only used AI on a couple of occasions. When it all came out about, well, about a year ago, isn't it, that we suddenly got access to it all. I just spent an hour and a half writing a sort of quite complex report for a client on a particular tax issue. And I thought, ooh, I wonder if ChatGPT could have done that quicker. And I put in quite a precise spec, and it pumped out my report, which all happened in 3 seconds instead of the hour and a half that I'd laboured over it. So that was a bit light bulb moment. One of the problems with it is that it scraped the internet of knowledge, and therefore it's picked up popular misunderstandings. And there's a lot of popular misunderstandings about certain tax issues, which are perpetuated daily by the Daily Mail, the Express, the Telegraph, and the Times. And so it's rubbish in and rubbish out. Because it's come out of a computer, people think that that's the tax law when it's not. And therefore I'm still on the sort of skeptical side of the fence, albeit that all those things that all of you have mentioned for research purposes is absolutely excellent, if that's what you're doing. Getting research out of AI seems to be a really good and efficient way of using it, providing you've got sufficient overview to then analyze what you've got for authenticity, if you like. I don't really use it on a daily basis, I have to say. That's all.
Yeah, thanks, Adrian. Yeah, because so on the research issue, you know, sometimes they sort of you can download research papers from universities and they can be like 5,000 pages long, but you can import that into ChatGPT and then start asking questions about it, you know, and then you can get like a 5,000 page and say, write me a Facebook post about that.
Yeah.
And it'll condense it, you know, obviously it's going to miss a lot of stuff out, but I mean, it's going to be and it's the same as your report. You could say, write me a Facebook post on this, but anonymize it, you know, I mean, whatever. So, I mean, and it is, and you can say, write me 12 Facebook posts on this, all different, to go out on different days, and it'll do that as well, you know. Sometimes it will complain and stop, but I mean, but you get the hang of it.
The other thing to remember about ChatGPT 4, it's got a cut-off date of April 23. So any new legislation that's been introduced, Adrian, like in a budget or a statement or whatever, won't be covered until the next iteration of ChatGPT.
Oh yeah. No, I understand that.
Yeah. The other great thing I use a lot has been the YouTube summarizer. There's a GPT called Video Summarizer, and you can just put in a YouTube link. I know I mentioned it last week, but it will go ahead and give you a summary of a YouTube video, because there's a lot of guff sometimes in a YouTube video, and it'll bring out all the salient points and everything, and then you can decide whether you want to watch the whole thing or not, you know. And it's or you might have watched it and thought, yeah, that was great, you know, I must make some notes on that. You can just ask this thing instead and copy and paste it into a document, you know. So it's all good stuff. I mean, I use it. I mean, I'm a web designer in my day job, and I use it for content creation, and I'm just fascinated by it anyway, you know. So yeah, so that's me, and then so now we're going to come on to the chatbots, because I think it's I thought it was good when Steffi first mentioned it, I think a few weeks ago, or maybe before we even started these. And then I was thinking, yeah, that sounds like a really good application, because I used something called ConversioBot for me and a couple of clients, and it was I had to spend a whole day, literally a whole day, creating flowcharts and things for this chatbot, you know, so that people would end up in the right place, and so it could give proper answers and point people to the right website, web page and things. But and then it took me hours afterwards, you know, updating it, and then I got to a stage where I couldn't be asked. So then the chatbot then falls out of it sort of falls out of relevance after a while, because it's such a mission to redo these flowcharts and things to actually do it, that and it's a little bit boring. But so yesterday on peppercorn.biz you'll see an example of Steffi's chatbot, and it took, well, minutes, you know, and a whole lot of less information to get a lot more, you know, stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna hand over to Steffi. You can share the screen.
Yeah, I'm hoping this will work, because I do have dialogue boxes, so I might have to look at it a different way. Let me have a look at that. Your AI content. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my website, yourai.uk, and in the bottom left-hand corner down here, in the classic position, but it could be over here if you wanted it to be. Can you see my mouse, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then you'll see my little cheeky chappy Android head down here, and when you just point at it, it comes up and says "Need help? Talk to our friendly chatbot," which is great. And if you click on it, it pops up with a bigger window. And you can put simple stuff in like, what's your phone number? And it'll give you your phone number. So it actually says our phone number is blah, 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 blah. If you're feeling a bit grumpy, you can just type in phone number, and it'll still give you the answer, which is absolutely fine because it understands what you're asking for. It's got things like phone number, email address, office opening hours, that sort of thing, website addresses. So you could say, how can I contact you? And it will give you a whole amalgamation of all that information. So it's intelligently looking at what you're typing in and then checking the answers every single time. And it's a nice little conversation. And even if you close that and go off and have a look at what else is going on, it's still there when you come back to it. Couple of limitations at the moment. It will only produce a big block of text, so don't expect nice bullet points and stuff like that. And also links are not live, so if you say, do you have a sign up page, I could get it to say yes, here it is, here's the URL, but it won't be a live link. That's the only problem. What I would do in that case, I'd say go to the menu, click on this item, and you can sign up from there. So it would actually reply with some help rather than actually pointing you there. These can be any color. There's a whole set of colors in the background. So when I close this, and I'm hoping that when I go there, can you see your PCM for us? That's because your AI is part of my CRM as well, but this is your AI actually embedded into it. You don't get this slot up here. This is all my settings and everything, but everything else is pretty much the same. And although we've got all these other features and functions like social media sharing and blog creation, we're looking specifically at chatbots today. And when we add new, can you see the pop-up dialog box?
No.
And that's screen sharing for you. Right, I'm going to have to do this in a slightly different way. Hang on a minute. I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to do this. Can you put me on speaker view, people? Put me on speaker view, then you'll be able to see all the pop-ups properly. Okay. Can you all see me nice and big? Oh, well, I'm in the corner, but my screen's nice and big. Okay. So when we click add new, it's simply saying to us, what domain are we going to put it on? So that's what that is at the top there. I'm just going to zoom in. What domain are we going to put it on? And we type in, oh, hello. We type in, if we actually click in the field, your domain name. And then we give it a chatbot title. So when it opens up, it says what you're going to say. I normally say, hi, how can we help you today? So that's the message at the top. And then we also get the little icon tip as well, the little the little message that says need help, chat to our chatbot. And then we can go straight into Q&A. Now I'm not going to type in any Q&A because I've already got this set up. I'll show you in a minute. We can say we want it in British English, not necessarily going to work properly because ChatGPT is American and the later models are a bit awkward about spelling, but it's not that important. Pound sterling, we can get it to do currency. So if we have values in there and currency values, it knows about that. Alignment of the icon, what color scheme we want. So we've got gray, yellow, you know, pink, that sort of things. You've got variations that kind of match what you've got on your own website. Position left and padding left and padding bottom as well. So you might want to move it around a little bit just to lay it out properly. And also which icon we're going to use. We've got a number of icons in here. I use Chirpy Chappy Chatbot, but you can have Happy Bubble Friends or Speech Bubble, which I think is what David's using on peppercorn.biz. Cutie Bot Head, there's lots of different ones there. And we simply say, add new original. Okay, so I'm not going to add a new original because I've got it all here. And when we add a new original, it comes up with this. So we've got a content page and we've got a usage page, and you can get access to a lot of the settings here. So when you're testing it and playing with it, you can quickly change it. You've got about 10,000 characters, sorry, 14,000 characters to play with. So you can make it quite an extensive chatbot, but you can't keep rambling on forever. That's the most important thing about it. Here's all my standard information: phone call, WhatsApp, email address. So if I said, how can I WhatsApp you? It would actually come back with 447490, etc. How can I call you? Then it will come back with the international call, you see. But if you say, how do I contact you? It will do some summary on this. So this is just standard information: call, WhatsApp, email, book a demo, opening hours. But then we get into the question and answer blocks. So you'll see I've got different variations of the same question. How do I get access? How do I get started? How do I sign up? How do I join? Or any other combination of questions. And then you've got your answer set underneath it here in that first paragraph there. It does go off a bit further. I've got two paragraphs there. And then another question and answer set starts here. And that's it. You just block it all together. So, you know, how do I buy more tokens? What does your AI do? What are the features of your AI? What should I use? Why should I use your AI instead of ChatGPT or DALL-E directly? You know, so it's answering objections as well. So if somebody says, well, you know, isn't it better to just use ChatGPT? I'll go, well, yeah, but you're paying 20 quid a month for it. You know, $20 a month, whereas you're just using tokens here, and it goes on and on and on. So you can be pretty extensive with your questions and answers. Basically, when you're in sales mode and somebody asks you a question that you answer, you can put it in here because somebody's going to ask that question eventually again, you see. So it's just an easy way to build up your question and answer set. And then you simply click update, and it saves the changes. And any chatbot, if you've got your chatbot installed like I have, that's immediately working right now. There's no need to upload files or anything like that. It just works. So how do we make it work? How do we get it onto our website? Well, David found this incredibly easy once he discovered the usage button. So you just click on usage and it says, copy that line of text. That's all you got to do. The S is for your copy of your AI, and the EX is the specific chatbot. You just highlight that everything between script and /script, and then you can drop it somewhere on your web page. So depends on your platform. You might be using WordPress, you might be using Ineos or anything else, but they'll allow you to drop code into certain parts. So if you want this chatbot to appear on every website, probably needs to be in the head part. If you just want it to appear on a specific page, you can put it into the body part. David, where did you put yours?
Stuck mine in the footer, so it appears all through the website. But I could have put it in the body of, if I wanted a different one for each page, which is, or I could drop one in each in the body of the page rather than the footer. But because it's in the footer, it just appears everywhere.
It does, yeah. So if you want one chatbot across every single page, put it in the header or footer. If you want different chatbots on different pages, because you can, there's no reason why it won't, because they're all free, so you might as well use them. Then you can actually put them into the body and just reference different ones. And you might think, oh, that's all well and good, but you know, is it free? Yes, chatbots are absolutely 100% free for normal small business usage. I do say down here that if you install one of my chatbots onto high volume websites, you're getting like 10,000 visitors a day and 150 interactions with your chatbot, then I am going to ask you to set up a subscription for $4.99. Okay. And if you ignore me, I'll delete your chatbot. Simple, really. And it's as simple as that. But for everybody like you and me, it's free. So I wouldn't worry about it. And that's my killer app, because I want people to come in here and get the chatbot for free and then realize that you've got all these other tools that, yes, you pay 1 token, 2 tokens, whatever. But the chatbot is what I call my killer app. So what do we do with it now? Well, we can usage it, we can content it. While we're building it in the content, we can test it. And this is just opens up a web page with the chatbot active. So if I click test now and just zoom out, you'll see it's got some random information there, but actually down here behind my name is the icon. So I click it and it'll come up, but I can say, I actually don't like that color. I want a different color. So I come over here and I say, well, I want it in pink. Thank you very much. And it updates it. And when I go back to tester and refresh it, it's now pink. Okay. And it actually updates the icon as well, because there's a lot of you can't see that. There's a lot of transparency in that icon. There you go. So that's why it actually matches the color scheme as well. It really, really, really is simple. All you're doing is typing in a little bit of knowledge about yourself at the top, and then literally answering questions and answers about your business that you've been answering, you know, being asked and answered for years. So there's nothing difficult in here. It's very simple. The hard part, and I suggest you speak to David to get it updated, is plugging it into your website. Once it's in your website, just come in here and update it and change it as and when you want. And of course, if you've got multiple websites, like I've got to do my other one this weekend, you can have a big pile of 10, 15, 20 chatbots. So David, being a web designer, can put one on every single one of his clients' systems as well, which is quite cool. That's it. That's all I'm going to say for now. Here endeth the lesson from Steffi. If you want a demo, you can go to yourai.uk and book a demo. Oh, hello, you can't see it. If you want a demo, go to yourai.uk and book a demo, or you can sign up absolutely free and you get 25 tokens for free to play with all the other stuff and start building your chatbot too. Thank you very much.
Excellent. I'll remove the pin. Okay. And everyone's back. Yeah, that was
everyone back into gallery view now.
Yeah, so a question, Simon.
Yes, can you use a chat box to select a chat box? So I ask a question, and you can then say, right, this looks as though you need Harry haircut. He's the expert on this area, and carry on. So either automatically or tell you to do it.
Does it stray outside of the queue? Yeah. You mean does
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Does it stray outside of the Q&As that you put in? Is what you're saying? I mean,
yeah.
Oh, it does do. I mean, there are cases. I mean, it's ChatGPT. I do have in the prompt behind the scenes, I have said, do not answer questions outside the scope of the Q&A that I give you. But occasionally it will. There's fundamental questions like, you know, are you ChatGPT? It will answer that, you know. But generally, I've made it so it won't answer outside of the context of the chatbot. That's the thing.
Sort of white leaves green, which is our classic.
Yeah, it shouldn't answer that. You know, that's the thing.
You shouldn't answer it, no.
Yeah.
Unless...
but I mean, it'll do things like, you know, can you respond in French? It will actually translate everything to French for you if you really want it to.
Okay, brilliant.
Hi, thank you.
Any other questions
You're
on
welcome.
I've got one. It may not be relevant, but I've just been looking at the peppercorn page and you've seen the chat looks lovely. So that's great. But if I wrote in there, you know, can you contact me? My name is blah blah blah. Will that information be kept or forwarded, or can I, you know, review the dialogue?
No,
Do you
it's
see what-
not that advanced.
Right. Okay. No, that's fine.
No. Maybe later versions. I don't know. I'm not too sure whether there's a reason why I'm not 100% happy with the chatbots as they stand. I have told David the reason. I'm not going to make it public because it's just something behind the scenes that I don't like about it. I could write it on a server-side basis, but it changes the nature of it. And in that case, we could have a command that says, please contact me, and here's my details, and it would do it. So I'm toying with ideas, but for now it won't. It literally is just conversation layout.
Still developing though, isn't it? I mean, it's really great. It's
It
fantastic.
would be great if I could have an action behind the scenes that when someone says, please can you contact me, ChatGPT sends an email with your contact details.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty good, you know. It's conversational, and you getting any information you put in there, and it won't just answer. It doesn't have to be your Q&A. It'll take an answer from a different part of your document, and if it's relevant, or it considers it relevant, and it'll put it in there, because I noticed it yesterday.
Yeah, so literally your entire experience, you know, and you know, in your sales process, people's objections and stuff like that, you know, why should I buy from you? You can put, you know, Q&A, why should I buy from you? This is the good reason why. And it'll use it, it'll build it into a conversation for you.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay.
And technically, Jane, it's open source because chatbots don't cost you anything. No, it's not open source. You can't have my code.
No.
But it's it's a huge time saver, you know, if you're using other chatbots, and it's easy to update as well, because things do change. They change all the time, so you can go in and add extra information or delete information or whatever. So it's I think it's pretty good. Okay, thanks, Stephanie. I think I was gonna try and cover today was images on. Let me just. I'll show you the problem. As a few people have not been. The problem with images with AI is that sometimes it's not as. I mean, it will change, but the sort of when it puts text on your images, it's nearly always spelt wrong.
Yeah.
So let me just share the screen, and I'll show you what I mean, and I'll show you how to deal with it. So
I struggle with that as well, I must admit.
yeah. So now create, and I'm going to do what did I do with it? I did happy birthday. I tried this earlier as well. Sure. All right. And I'm hoping it will probably do it perfectly and spell everything perfectly now, because
it's a demo,
David. Because it's a demo, yeah. But you can just key it straight. It's got like a GPT called DALL-E, DAL-E. There is a new version coming out very soon. So
Day.
Perfect. Look at that. So that's terrible. It's kind of, I don't know what's going on there. They're there somewhere. The shirt day. So that's one of the worst ones I've seen, actually. But it's come up at the bottom and it's all right there. But this is here. So I'm not sure this is. I'm going to give it a go. What I was doing earlier. So I'm going to download this image. So now it's downloaded, and this is something I don't know. I don't know if everyone uses Canva. There's an awful lot of people seem to. You can use the free version of it again. I think it's about $10 a month that I pay for it. but it is brilliant. But I'm going to create a design, and I'm going to import a file. I'm going to do that one. Use as a new design. Use custom size. So just so I can edit that image. You can copy and just paste it into a template or into a size. You just choose what the size you want. You can resize it afterwards to a Facebook post or whatever. And they've got this thing. It's been around a couple of months now, but there's resize the magic switch. So let me click on here. I'm going to edit the photo. I've clicked on the photograph. I'm going to edit the photograph if you click it there. And it's got all these cool tools here. And one of them is called grab text. So I'm going to see if this works. Because it's bendy, it works better with other things where it's got plain text. And I'm just wondering if it's going to work on this or not. So this is an experiment as we go. So so now I can change that to Shirley. Is it gonna where's it gone? Yeah, anyway. And then I'm going to change that to happy. Because the beauty of it is it will copy the font if it's there. So it's not quite right. You could reduce the font to make it fit better, but you can actually play around with the font then and actually get it to right. So I think, well, that's a bit unnecessary, so we can just get rid of that one. So that's, you can ask it to regenerate the picture, but you can also, if you've got Canva, you can actually I spelled Shirley right. Has it got an E on it? I don't know. There's but you can actually change things in ChatGPT. So the other thing, one thing I was trying is to put redo this, but spell Shirley correctly.
No, birthday correctly.
Oh, spell birthday.
Spelled Shirley correctly.
And oh yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. Spell birthday correctly. Now the thing is, at the moment, I'll then lose this. It won't duplicate. It will create a new image from scratch, and it's and it will go there. It'll just take a couple of seconds while it's thinking about it.
That's really cool. I like that one.
Okay. So it has done. It is getting better all the time. So I think that's a better one than the previous one. But sometimes it will create an image. You think, oh, that's a great image, and I want to keep it, but the spelling's wrong. You can actually take it into Canva, and
or there's a dollar note sitting somewhere.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can overwrite it. Yeah, yeah. So we've got it's come out. It's come out okay this time. So I've been told to put birthday in either quotation marks or in what do you call the one that's only got one dit?
Apostrophes.
Apostrophe, yeah. So within apostrophes, brackets, or just a delimiter of some sort, and it'll not always. It's not 100%, but it seems to be getting better as time goes on. So that's quite a nice one. So I copy that, paste it on Facebook. no one else would have had that, because it'll be a unique creation, and away you go. So
I had a real issue trying to get it to spell the word solicitor correctly.
yeah.
So I was saying a sign outside a rural solicitor's office set in a village in summer at sunset, and it carried on every single time. I put two eyes, and I was doing things like please spell solicitor correctly.
Yeah.
It was still spelling it wrong. I could not get it to create the word solicitor on a sign outside an office. It was such a bugger.
Yeah, yeah. I've had similar problems, and I've gone through all sorts of hoops trying to get it to. I said, if you don't know how to spell solicitor, stop and ask me how to spell solicitor. Which is another thing I'll say in a minute, actually. Paper crawling AI.
Dave, is it a valid strategy to split the two tasks and say, please can you create an image with a banner space, and it chunters around and does that, and then you say, please put the following in the banner space?
No, because you can't at the moment. You can't re-edit the same image within ChatGPT.
Yeah.
We get to do it if it created that space and you put it in. See there, Pepper Con, the cool stuff. You thought, oh, we don't really want that. So it's again, if I'm not in love with that image, I don't think it's stellar, so I would probably drop it, and then just give it another go, and I would just click on the regenerate image underneath.
Yeah.
Create another one. But if I really like it, sometimes it creates really good images with spelling mistakes, and because you can't retrieve that same image, and if you really like it, then Canva is a way of getting around it.
Yeah.
And
We demand reference image uploads.
Yeah. So if I tried see, now that's even worse. So you see the difficulty we have with especially with DALL-E, but that they're all got problems, even Midjourney, which is specifically for generating images, and is considered one of the better ones, still has problems, like 3 O's in cool, and peppercorn is not even. It might have the right. It hasn't even got the right letters in it. It's got an A in there for some reason. Don't know what else. So that's the problem we get. And so images is not the strong point at the moment. I think images will, in the next few months, I'm sure, will be one of the areas that they'll be working on.
I've heard DALL-E 4 should be out by the end of the year.
Yes,
And,
that's right.
and I have been told that it has got reference imaging in there and much improved writing.
Yeah. Because I thought I found something that would take a reference image, which was cartoonize yourself. I'll just explain this. On ChatGPT page, there's something there called Explore GPTs. These are other GPTs or routines or plugins, if you like, that plugin's not accurate, but it's got its own ones, and then you've got ones that are made by other people, by the community. So you can search for anything. I was looking at there's one for astrology. I'm not 100% on astrology, but you just key in your birth date and things like that, and it'll give you a reading. But there's cartoonize yourself, because it's asking for a reference image. It's I thought, well, this is got to be good. So I sort of, you can drag and drop it, but I don't know. I don't know if I've got much. Desktop. Okay, I've got my old Facebook one. So cartoonize this. Let's just put that and see what happens. And it seems to be always the same guy that comes out. image. That's not a brilliant image, but it then produces something that's almost but not quite entirely unlike me.
It's the uncanny valley.
Yeah, there he is.
It's more like Harry Potter.
We're like two peas in a pod. I mean, that's so like me. It's not true, isn't it? So your photo's been transformed into an illusion. That's true. Oh, an illustration.
But not quite as much hair as you, David.
No, that's right. Well, when I was his age, I probably had that much hair. So so that's it. So yeah, so images are a problem, and although it does produce good stuff, especially if you tell it not to. If you look at if you're here for the first one, you'll see that we created a Viking ship and things like that. And as long as you say don't put any text on this image, it does a reasonable job of a lot of different things. So it is good. It's just not perfect. So I think there. Okay. Anyone got any comments or questions about anything at all? No? So there's yeah. If like I say, if anyone wants to do a presentation or show us how they use AI, or if there's anything you find out during the week, scribble it down on a pad or on a notebook and just give us a lowdown on a Friday, because there is a lot of, you know, there's more of these GPTs coming on every day. There are literally thousands of them. So there's.
I'm quite indignant, David, because in fact I haven't had an invitation to explore Gemini, which I think is a travesty.
Right, okay. Yeah, considering you use it all the time, I only use it about once a week.
I know. Maybe
It's
it just values my input.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it is gaining information. As Adrian said earlier, Adrian's gone, but he said earlier that it is scraping information that it gets from the web. And so garbage in, garbage out is an issue. But as a whole, I mean, I know there are specific areas like Adrian's with wills and the law and people's perception of what happens when you die is it's good. So they had because I do know Adrian's business partner, because I was in a real life networking with her yesterday, and it was they said that they have all sorts of brainstorming sessions about getting clients and everything like that, but sort of ChatGPT is ideal for that, you know, for all just brainstorming ideas. I love the chat version on the phone on ChatGPT on the app, because I sit there having conversations with it. It comes out with some good stuff, and it comes out, you know, if only
You're so lonely and sad.
Yeah, that's right. Well, if you haven't got people you're working with, I mean, you know, a lot of us as small business people, we sort of work alone, don't we? There are people around, you know. I've got my wife and the postman, but there's but if you want to talk about something more technical, who are you going to talk to, you know? So I think that's brilliant.
Sorry.
Anyway, thanks for coming along again today. It was really enjoyable. I love these meetings, and I'm sure we can. Well, there are lots and lots of other things to chat about next week, so we'll keep them going. And nice to see you again next time.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Jeffy.
I'll put these on the website. I'll put this film on the website later, so you can look at it again.
Brilliant.
Thanks, everyone.
That was good. Thanks, Ed. Thanks.
Bye-bye all.
Bye.
Great weekend.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Bye.